Hello and welcome to the Passion Driven Pioneers interview series. I'm your host, John Channon, and today I'm joined by Charlie Lawson, who is the owner and president of GCS Title. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, would you like to just kick us off with a brief background as to who you are, what you do, and then the business that you're in?
Got it. Well, my name's Charlie. I'm the founder and owner of GCS Title here located in Minnesota. We do business in Minnesota and Wisconsin. A little background about me is grew up in a very small town in southern Minnesota. Was the first of my family to kind of move out of that small town and take a chance on myself, on my dream. And somehow that landed me in this wonderful world of real estate and the title industry. So, but yeah, that it just very, very brief. Played sports as an athlete or as a high school athlete. Went to 3 years of college, was a 3-year freshman. College just wasn't my thing. And then just kind of fell into, kind of tripped and stumbled into this, and then was at a title company for 5 years. Had great mentors there, had a beautiful culture. But I wanted something a little bit different. I thought there was a need at that time in our industry to do things a little bit different. And I bet on myself. So I did that in 2005. I started my own mobile closing company. So we did mobile closings throughout the Twin Cities and the state of Minnesota. We were averaging roughly from 2005 to 2007, roughly about 250 mobile closings every single month. And then in 2007, the market shifted, the water faucet turned off, and I had to pivot and move. And that's when we created GCS Title. So it's been a fun, interesting up and down roller coaster ride, but learned a lot of lessons. So here to share some of them.
So tell us about that spark that kind of led you to want to start up your own title company.
Yeah.
What was that initial spark? Because as you said, you were working for a company, enjoyed it, but what was it that clicked that said, you know what, I'm going out on my own?
I think I can't say I think the straw that broke the camel's back was I used to be a closer. I got hired to be a closer in our industry. And what the closer does is sit and talk the docs at the closing table when you go to buy a house. I'm the last person you see. I'm the last impression that they're going to see. When I started watching some of our teammates at that time start looking at the clock, hoping it was 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when the day ended, I saw an opportunity of, why are we not making this? We're making it all about us as the employees and as the company. Why are we not making it more convenient for the consumer? So I pitched the idea. Me and the other owner, we just weren't aligned, and he's got his reasons for it. I just saw an opportunity to be different in a space that needs some change and just be a little bit more customer service friendly. So we started up and launched Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2005. And I went out to every title company that I knew, and I just asked them, I said, when you need a mobile closer, when your client can't come to the office or take off work. That was one of my big things, is people having to take off work to refinance their house. That didn't make any sense to me. You got to use PTO to refinance. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. So we just created a better way in the
That's
industry.
cool. That's cool. So tell us a little bit about what were some of the things that you needed to do, or what were some of the things maybe you learned when you first got this business up and going?
Man, I didn't realize how hard it was to be an entrepreneur. I literally thought, yep, I'm my own boss. So being your own boss, you have freedoms and flexible hours. I'm going to call BS on all that. You're actually going to put in more time, more work, more energy. You're going to see things that you've never seen before. At days, it feels like you're running, a therapy session, an adult daycare at times, because you're dealing with everyone's ish at times. So it's a lot of things that I wasn't prepared for. I think I got into it to be my own boss. It's it's more than that. And I'm still learning lessons here today. I just met with my team before this, and we're going through some lesson learning stuff. And it's just, if you stay closed-minded as an entrepreneur and just have your blinders on and not willing to grow and not willing to be better, I would highly recommend not being an entrepreneur, not owning your own business. Because there's a lot of hurdles and obstacles you will be tossed along the way
Yeah. Yeah.
every single day.
So you mentioned, right, the beginning, lot more work than you thought, a lot harder than
Yeah,
you thought, many more hours, right? Now that you've been doing it for almost 20 years,
yeah,
by the way, we're coming up on 20 years.
yeah.
What's your work-life balance now?
John, that's a great question. Terrible. Um, I am a I am learning. So some of the things that I've learned throughout the years, and I would say in the last, I'll say 4, 5, 6 years, I've learned that time is more valuable than money. And unfortunately, I've learned that lesson because of some traumatic stuff that has happened in our family and in our life that has brought me to that. But I highly encourage for people to find that work-life balance. And then just put that on the forefront too, even with your teammates, to stress how important that is to have that balance in your life. It can't be nonstop work. It just can't. It's not healthy, in my opinion. It is not healthy. So me and my wife, we've got a little 13-year-old son that plays hockey. And my commitment now over the last 6 years has been dedicate my life to making sure I'm there at every game and being present for him and just showing him some structure and bringing home kind of the things we even learn at the office here. And then he teaches me, just with our interactions, teaches me stuff that I can bring to my team here. It's it's funny if, and I said this to our team today, it's funny if we all slow down as adults and listen to our kids more. They have some very valuable advice because they see it through a different lens and a different glass, that we could start improving our lives just by listening to them and not always saying it's our way or it's the highway. So it's just really, it's being more open, I would say.
That's good. That's good. So let's change the topic a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about in your industry, right? You started out with an innovative business model, right? The mobile closing.
Yep.
What are some of the things you're doing now to remain innovative and open to change?
So I would say our industry just as a whole is a little bit of the Polaroid camera in
Mm,
essence of we so before I got into it, they had like the carbon copy paper, um, where they had to handwrite all their documents. Then it went to a typewriter. Now it's to computer systems. And now I feel like we're in this lull still of technology is a scary and bad thing. Um, I'll say this. I think I'm gonna say COVID. When COVID happened, it taught the world, and I'll say just in our industry specifically, how to operate differently. That was a big challenge, a big hurdle in everyone's lives, but we had to do things differently. We had to work remotely. We had to communicate remotely. We had to take what used to be or what is a belly to belly, face to face communication and transfer and look at different ways on how to do that. If it wasn't with masks face to face, it was remotely like this, Zoom calls or Teams calls. So it was it was just a different way. And normally when you go through that change, some people will revert back to the simple ways of doing things because that's comfortable. Our team, I'll just say this, our team, our family is always and will continue to push the envelope to use technology as a friend to be more efficient and put time on the forefront. Technology can be a great thing with proactive communication and not be so reactive on everything. So we are constantly looking for different ways to use technology as a benefit, not just to communicate, but to help run some of the mundane paper pushing activity so we can focus our energy as teammates to focus on the clients and enhance that experience for them.
Okay. That's going to lead me to my next question, which is the magic wand question. So, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about your business,
Wow.
what would it be? And it's a magic wand, so it can be anything.
Wow. I'll just say just as a whole, just using technology and the innovation that's at our fingertips, use it more in our industry. I think our industry stays away from it and is scared of it. And when I say our industry, the title industry as a whole, and I would like to push more forward to it because I think technology can be it is scary, but it can be a very wonderful thing. So the magic wand in our industry would just be figuring out a way to use technology to make that experience feel like it's belly to belly. I'm an older guy. I'm going to be 51 this year. I like the belly to belly, but a lot of our communication now and a lot of our, I'll say our, the new generation, it's a lot of online. And we've got to get better as an industry to move with the different generations.
That's good. That's good. So that brings me then to the next question, which would be, can you offer us maybe a glimpse into the future plans and goals that you have for your business? See how these all layer together?
I love it. To take over the world. No, to be honest, just to be an industry leader, to help people understand how valuable time is and that things can be done differently. And it's not necessarily taking away jobs. It's putting them in positions to create a better experience and to give them some time back. So our ultimate goal here at GCS, and it's been, and we're far from it, but my ultimate goal when I started this was to work a 35-hour work week every week and give our teammates 5 hours to give back to the community. I want to get there because giving back and serving people always feels so good. And it's a big goal, it's a big dream, and we need technology to do that. So it's continually trying to teach and develop people to understand that technology can be your friend. And if we want to give and serve more, we need to lean on that a lot more in our industry.
Okay. Well, knowing that this show, right, is targeted towards people that are going to be maybe in their first few years of business, do you have any final thoughts or words of advice you'd like to share with our audience today?
I would hear that, John. That's a great question. And you posed it to me right before this, and it's kind of the wheels turning here. And I would say the biggest thing for an entrepreneur to start out of the gate is just be very clear on the culture you want to create and why you want to create that culture, and then stick to that culture as hardcore and hard pressed as you can, and surround yourself around people that want those same things and can support that vision and can support that culture. What I've learned in a very, I'll say, short period of time, long period of time, is that here, our culture, we don't want negativity. Now that's very gigantic, and everyone has a bad day, but it's how you deal with those bad days. And it's simple words like I have to do this. I have to do this. And it's changing that mindset just a little bit of saying, I get to do this. I get today. I get to live. I get to work. I get to get curveballs thrown at me in this industry that I get to find opportunities with. So that's the culture that we are creating here, is that it's solution based, solution orientated, and being very grateful and thankful for just waking up each and every morning and given a chance to make people smile or be on podcasts like this.
Well, listen, thank you so much for your time today, Charlie.
Thank you, John.
It was great meeting you, learning more about your entrepreneurial journey. And to everyone watching, I look forward to seeing you in our next episode.